third day is a charm. Welcome back, friends. Hello, friends. Hello, friends, and welcome back to Ashley's Homestead Adventures. We are on another adventure today. Hopefully the third day is a charm. I'm in the passenger seat and Mr. Wonderful's cracking me up. We have been on the road for an hour and a half, and hopefully we'll get lucky today. If not, again, hopefully we'll gain some knowledge. So off we go to the livestock auction, again dressed to the fives and hoping for the best. So it is a rainy, cloudy day here in Arkansas. We are currently at 57 degrees, so it's warm, and looking forward to seeing what the day brings. Hello. So we are back again, empty-handed. And I thought that we got back late, and I just got all the animals fed and, all the dogs pet, and got everybody calmed down, got Velvet's stall cleaned, and I was just kind of out here, just sitting here, listening to the animals chomp on their food and thinking about things, and thought I would just turn the camera on because I haven't really sat down and talked to you guys about how things are going. How am I doing? And things are going as great as they seem to be going in the videos. And I'm doing awesome. Healthy, getting a lot done, productive. But there are ups and downs, whether you have a farm that's established, or no matter what your circumstances are, there's always going to be ups and downs. And so one of the things that I kind of wanted to pop on here is I haven't really been talking to my people that I started this channel for. My people that are thinking of moving across the country or starting their farm over. The people that are taking the leap of faith and chasing their dream and starting over. And I try to keep those people in mind in everything that I do, because there's a ton of people out there that are farming and doing it well. There's a ton of people out there that are gardening and doing it well. And there's a ton of people out there that are small micro farms, market gardeners, cut flower gardeners, and they're killing it. And there's a ton of success stories also out there about people that are doing what I'm doing. But I want to be the voice that inspires people to keep going, and also want to share everything that's happening in this process while I'm moving and while I'm rebuilding and growing this farm. And one of those things is I keep making videos, and we're super excited, and we're all dressed to the fives to head to the livestock auction, and then we come home empty-handed. And you guys keep waiting to see the thing, the little animal that I pick up, because that's the exciting part, right? And you're right, it is. And it's very tempting to buy all the cute ones. Trust me, I know. Or buy all the sad looking ones. There are big pros and big cons to livestock auctions. and you have to make the decision for yourself if that wants to be something that you do. And I'm not going to recommend one way or the other. I will just say that if you are going to do it, I think that it's a good idea to do your research and make sure you quarantine your animals like we've done with King. And we have had absolutely no issues with King, not so much as the sniffles. He's a very healthy, strapping young man. So, you know, do your due diligence on that. But the other side of this that it's important to let people know is it's not just about going to the grocery store and getting the meat. It's not just about going to the livestock auction and getting the sheep or the cow. Yes, I got lucky, and when I went to go get King, I came home with King. He wasn't exactly what I wanted, but I think I really lucked out and got a good one. And now we're in the cattle industry, looking in the cattle industry, and we're not lucking out. However, we feel that we're being smart, and that is one thing that's really important to do when you're making a huge life change or moving across the country and rebuilding your farm. It's important to be frugal. Go to these sales and, you know, figure out what the prices are, do your research, watch people, see what the market is, and then try to find the deal. You know, try to find the one that comes through the auction when everybody else has gone in to go get some lunch, and, you know, they've already bought up 40 or 50 or whatever, you know, and they're not really worried about it anymore. And all of a sudden one comes through and, you know, it just goes for 40 cents less a pound than everybody else does. You got to be patient and wait for those things so that as the micro farmer, the really small homestead, that you don't gouge yourself before you even start raising it. And that's exactly what we're doing. We're just kind of sitting and patiently watching and waiting for the right one to come, and it will. And also on top of that, you'll notice that we're wasting full days, it would seem like to some. We're not on the farm doing the projects that we want to be doing, and that's not true. We are being very productive because we are, while we're out and about, we're stopping at bee stores and learning about getting our beehives going. We're stopping at any and every nursery that we can come across. We came across $18 trees today. Lowe's, Home Depot. We always need something there, and I always head straight to the sale racks. Like I said, I got all my bulbs this year. There was about 200 of them, and I got them all for 50, 60, 75% off. Now I get to have a little bit of beauty in my garden first thing in the spring to kind of, you know, jumpstart me for the summer season and all of my plans that I have. And I got it for $3 and $4 for a bag of bulbs instead of $7, $8, $9, $10, $14 if you order them online. And we're doing our research. I mean, we're finding deals at the feed stores for the big mineral lick buckets that we got. Those are great raised bed planters. Walking around Hobby Lobby, and I'm decorating my home for fairly inexpensive. I mean, today we ran across the Hobby Lobby store, and I went in and I shopped the 50, 75, 85% off, and I got $400 worth of stuff for like $85. And so I'm decorating my home so that it looks country chic, and I feel good about my home, and when company come that I've actually decorated it and it doesn't just look like a rundown farmhouse. And I've done it on a budget. And that's important when you do something like this. When you move across the country, most of your money is spent in fuel, problems that happen on the road, animal care, hotels, food, not to mention if you have to do storage units, U-Hauls, it adds up fast. And moving out to rural country, you really start to learn how to be frugal and live on a farm budget of when you go to town, you go to town. And when you pass a Home Depot or a Lowe's, or, you know, for me, it's a craft store because I do lots of making of things instead of buying of things. Antique stores, wholesale canning stores, livestock markets, flea markets. You know, there's just all kinds of things that when you pass them and you're, you know, 100 miles away from home, when's the next time that you're going to be there? Who knows? So you stop and you end up spending all day, but it's not a wasted day. And you're being productive, you're gaining knowledge, and you're picking up things that you need for less money along the way. And for me, that's invaluable. The ability to open up your mind, and that is something that I have learned a lot on this journey, and I'm still growing. Open up your mind to allow you to not have to have a certain plan and a certain focus, and these are the things that you have to get done today. You can adjust that and say, well, you know what, maybe I'll get them done tomorrow or this weekend. But today I picked up 10 mineral lick tubs for $37.50, and that's going to save me $400 in lumber and Mr. Wonderful 10 hours of building raised beds. So I'm saving that time and that money for later by using up the time and shopping the sales now. So that's a big part that I really wanted to give you insight into my life of what we're doing. We're not just sitting at a livestock market all day long and coming home empty-handed. We look for what we're looking for. We gain our knowledge. We talk to some folks, go out and look at the breeds of cows, admire some of them. And when, you know, our group of age that we're looking for is gone through, then we skedaddle and we start heading home and, you know, start looking. We just keep our eyes peeled and we're just looking. I have a lot of, you know, your Facebook groups are wonderful for that. You know, you can become a part of local towns so that when they're having these big, huge flea markets or what have you, you can know about those. And so that's something that when you're incorporating yourself into a new place, it's harder for some than others to meet new people and to incorporate yourself into the community. And I have a beautiful, wonderful community here, but they're all busy. They have their own lives. They got their own things going, and they're absolutely not nosy. And so it's not that I'm not gaining friends, because all of my neighbors and the people that I've met, I know I could call them in an emergency and they'd be here in a heartbeat. But calling them 15 times a day saying, hey, do you know anybody that has mineral lick tubs? Hey, do you know anybody that has chickens? Hey, do you know where there's cheap lumber for sale? Hey, you know where anyone's got milk jugs? You get to a point to where when you've got a very, very small town, you don't want to be that annoying person. So reach out on Facebook, keep an eye on your local marketplace, start talking to people, go places like your local, or for us, not so local. We've been pretty much all over the state of Arkansas in the last week. But sit down and talk to those old timers. They got a wealth of knowledge. And a lot of times when you're farming, farming and gardening, I haven't gotten into a lot of the gardening stuff because it's not time yet. But what I'm finding with animals is that everything that I knew in Colorado and Oregon sometimes feels nil and void for here. It's rare to see wool sheep here. It's hot. It's all hair sheep here. There are some Suffolk breeders, there are some Cheviot breeders, but there's not a lot. And there's something called a Brangus cow here. They cross an Angus beef cattle with a Brahma. Here they call them Bremes. And it's Brahme. Oh, they're the ones with the humps on their back, right? Huge, big cattle that you would not look at and say beef. But they cross them with these to make them more heat tolerant. And so there's these Brangus cattle that are running through, and I'm going, what kind of cow is that? It's got stripes on it, but it's black. It looks a little bit like an Angus, but it's got this flappy stuff on its neck, and, you know, the different kinds of hogs that we've never seen. The goats pretty much stayed the same. You know, I mean, goats are just so stinking hardy. They can live anywhere. But the breeds of the animals are so different. And there's different prices for some of the animals that were going for much higher prices in Oregon are going for much lower prices here. And some of them have flip-flopped on the list of top price animals for beef. And that's interesting to me. And I'm learning all of that so that if I do so decide to get into the beef industry or the sheep industry or on a very small scale, I'm going to know that, hey, if I start breeding my Dorper ram to my wool sheep and I've got Dorper in there, those Dorper sheep, the people here like them. And so if I start breeding out the Suffolk and the other breeds of sheep that my wool sheep are, my girls are, and keep bringing in Dorpers, I'm going to get more money for them than I am for my girls as they stand right now. That's not the case in Oregon. In Oregon, I have extremely good looking sheep, and in fact, all of the people that I look to for education in Oregon when I was thinking of selling my sheep and not hauling them here, they told me not to do it. They said, you've got yourself a heck of a flock. Do not get rid of it. And I come here and everybody's like, you got what? So the education is priceless, and you have to leave your mind open, and you have to give yourself grace to get to know your area and your terrain and the people around you, and allow yourself to slow down, make those connections, shop those sales, and save yourself the time, the money, and the heartache for later. But that's how I am, and that's what I'm doing. And that's my little bit of inspiration. There are days when you come home and you think, oh my God, I haven't gotten anything done. And we are getting little things, bits and pieces of our projects done. And at nighttime, as you could see in the last few videos, we're working, in the barn with the lights on, in the shop with the lights on, and we're getting those projects done while it's dark outside. And so we are still doing, a few things around here, but some of the bigger projects are just kind of on hold right now because I have Mr. Wonderful here right now, and there are decisions and things that we're trying to learn together. And also on top of that, I'm just going to add this little tiny side note. On top of that, a lot of people that do this situation, this move that I've done, big moves, a lot of times what happens is the wife will move or the husband will move, and one or the other of them is back and forth, or one of the other of them cannot come yet, and so you're separated. And that is another extremely important thing to me as a homestead wife, as a woman, is Mr. Wonderful's here right now. And I want to make the most of all of that. So if we are, you know, at a livestock auction, or we're on our way home, or we're on our way there, and, you know, hey, do you want to go check out that place? Yes, I do. I would love to go have fun. And we have had so much fun. You know, we spent a month apart, and which is absolutely necessary, and we're completely okay with it. I'm not complaining. But what I am saying is, if that's the situation, or, you know, the case for you, like it is for me, I'm holding on to those moments, and I'm having as much fun with him as I can while he's here. Because he leaves again in just a few short days. And I don't know how long he'll be gone. So we are trying to get, you know, projects done here that he needs to do. But on the flip side of that, we're also trying to have fun, reconnect, and kind of fill our glasses back up and let our love bloom, so that we can part ways again and still hold down our two separate roads that are so important for each of us to do. And so don't forget about that, and love your partner, and keep faith in your partner, and continue to have fun with your partner. In farming, in homesteading, a lot of times in gardening, and, you know, in life, our husbands and our wives they're our best friends, or they should be. And we need to work our butts off to continue to give them the love and the respect and the time that they deserve. So that's really it for today. I cleaned stalls and loved on cats, and I may find a project that I'm gonna go kind of work on, but to be honest, I was up at 4, and I'm feeling mighty sleepy. So I might just go in and read a book for tonight, and go check on Mr. Wonderful and see what he's up to. I know he's got a big, exciting project that he's working on, that I know needs my attention also at some point before we do the big reveal to you guys. But I hope you guys had a wonderful day, and I know I did, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Yours truly.